Oh, good afternoon. I'm sorry. Well, good evening, everyone. Hi, this is Councilwoman Yolanda McCoy. This is the Education, Youth, and Families Committee meeting. It is Wednesday, March 10th at 5 p.m. And we're happy to be back in your homes. So if we can just start off by introducing the members of council.
Councilwoman Zanthia Alford, 3rd District.
Councilwoman Brigida Fields, 5th District.
Okay. So it looks like that is all of our council members at the moment. All right. And we do still have other people from our council staff. If they wish to introduce themselves, they can. All right, so I just want to go ahead and get started. I am Councilwoman Yolanda McCoy, 6th District. I am the chair of the Education, Youth, and Families Committee meeting. And what I would like to do today is actually, when it comes to our agenda, we're going to go a little out of order. We are going to start with the last item on the agenda, if I can get to that. Okay. So the last item on the agenda is a resolution urging the Delaware General Assembly to increase the amount of certain victim compensation funds. And I ask, who will speak to this matter?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I will, Councilwoman Zanthia Oliver.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Okay, this resolution is urging the Delaware General Assembly to increase the amount of certain victim compensation funds. What does this resolution do? This resolution encourages the Delaware General Assembly to increase the limit of the funeral and burial services offered through the Victims Compensation Assistance Program from $5,000 to $7,500. This resolution is also in line with the current efforts of the Department of Justice initiatives. Why is this resolution necessary? Currently, the program only covers $5,000, which is less than the average funeral and burial expenses. This leaves the family scrambling to find additional funding to bury their loved ones. A family should not have to choose between burying the loved one and paying for a funeral. Number two, the constituents I have spoken to have asked that we work with the General Assembly to increase these limits. Number three, the resolution also speaks to who's eligible for funds, which has left many families at a disadvantage. Number four, currently a person is able to define if they are involved in a crime. This referred to as the misconduct portion of the law. Number five, it's important to note that victims' comp applies to secondary victims, which is currently defined in Chapter 90, Title 11. This shall mean that any parent, step-parent, grandparent, son, daughter, spouse, sibling, half-sibling, fiance, caretaker, or victim, any child who resides on a regular, semi-regular basis with an adult who is the victim of convicted of any crime involved in the act of domestic violence, the parents of the victim, spouse, and any other person who resides in that victim's household at the time of the crime, at the time of this discovery of the time. Now, what is not included in the resolution, we do not address the eligibility of all victim comp funds because most of that is managed by at the federal level. And the General Assembly does not have jurisdiction. We work with our congressional delegation specifically around the requirement that a person is gainfully employed. Another one that's not included in the resolution we do not address the amount given to the families as a result of homicide. Currently, those individuals are eligible to receive up to $25,000 if they meet the requirements. Do we have any now? Does anyone have any additional questions that I can answer tonight in reference to this resolution?
Okay, well, thank you. Thank you, Councilwoman. So as she has stated, are any of the, I'm sorry, you know what? I forgot to acknowledge our President Congo has actually joined the committee.
Thank you.
Mhm. So again, I just wanted to put that question out. Does any of our council members have any questions for Councilwoman Oliver when it comes to her resolution? Okay. All right, Councilwoman Fields.
Yes, my only question was, is this due to the increase in violence throughout the state of Delaware, or is it the increase of life? What is it? Every year, the amount of what the cost effective of living. Is that the reason why? What's the real purpose? I mean, I get it, but I was just just want to know.
Thank you. No, it hasn't been an increase. As a matter of fact, the chief of staff and myself had a Zoom call with the Department of Justice, and there hasn't been an increase, and they're currently working on it. So she said it couldn't have been better timing. I just thought it should be something, and I spoke to, and working with Senator Darius Brown. So I have to send this to Dover because, it's not in, our jurisdiction, but I just thought with the increase of the violence and, I get a lot of call in reference to funerals, and a lot of people have to set up GoFundMe pages and people trying to scramble just to, try to get money for their loved ones. So since, victim comp hasn't been looked at for years, I just thought it was necessary because some people brought it to my attention. Some constituents brought it to my attention that could be an area that I should look at because, like I said, when I go to various homes of individuals who have passed, and just with the increase of violence, no one seems to have policies. And if they do have policies, they're just not covering the burial expenses. So I thought it was only right to ask for an increase in the victims' comp.
Well, I totally agree. And I really appreciate you bringing that to my attention. As we know, I hate to say it like this, but the 3rd and the 5th district, we are kind of plagued by crimes on a daily or on a constant basis. So, if I could be attached to the letter or some kind of way to show you support on this matter, I would like to be added, please.
And I can add as a co-sponsor.
Thank you so much, Councilwoman Fields, and please be certain to add Councilwoman Fields as a co-sponsor to the resolution. I would like to also acknowledge Councilwoman Darby has joined us. All right,
Good evening, madam.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Good evening.
Okay, good evening. It's a little broken up. All right, does anyone have any other questions? I actually did have a comment, but I'm going to allow others to have questions. Okay. All right. So my comment is basically this. Thank you so much, Councilman Oliver. I understand why this was actually needed or required. Right now, we are seeing we are seeing a spike, of course, in violence, but the fact that people are actually having to make choices on whether or not they can afford to pay life insurance, so, and of course, we want to make certain that we funeralize our loved ones, it's that final pain of respect and saying goodbye. It is really important. So thank you so much for thinking of them and making certain that you put together a resolution for this. If there are no other questions, is there anyone in the is there anyone in the public that have a comment? Nope. Looks like no. All right. Well, thank you. This is a resolution. It does not have to be voted out. We will see this on, will we see this on the 18th? We'll be voting as a full council on the 18th?
Yes, I think that's the date.
All right.
Yes, yes, Madam Chair.
Okay. I said, well, thank you. This will come to full council on the 18th. And you know what? As a matter of fact, please add me to this resolution as well. All right. We will go to the next item
Madam Chair.
on the agenda. Oh, I'm sorry. Ms. Bassnight, did you have something to
Yes,
say?
I just want to clarify that it'd be on the April the 1st meeting because the March the 18th is all the budget ordinances.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you so much for that clarity. So April 1st, we will see your resolution, Councilman Oliver. All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. So we actually are going to go to the next item. Well, the very first item on the agenda. Oh my gosh, I lost everything. Where'd everything go? I do apologize. Okay, so we are going to have a presentation of the Christina School District's Parent University Program. And I'd like to ask who's going to speak to that matter.
Good evening, Councilwoman. This is Deirdre Aegis. I'm also joined by Andrea James, and I'm not sure if Pamela Scott was able to get tonight. So I'll be doing the presentation, and we can certainly defer for questions if needed.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Aegis.
Are you ready for us? Okay.
Yes, we are.
Good evening, City Council members and the Wilmington community. I bring you greetings from Christina School District. I'm Deirdre Aegis, Deputy Superintendent, born and raised here in Wilmington. My family's here, my church is here, my nieces and nephews go to school here, so it's good to work at home. Tonight, my team and I have been invited to talk about some of the great things happening with our parent university at the Bayard School, the Bancroft School, and Stubbs Early Education Center. We call it Teaching and Takeout because every Thursday for 6 weeks, tomorrow will be week 3, we have a local pizzeria deliver pizzas and salad to every home between the hours of 5 and 6 o'clock. Then at 6 o'clock, we log into the Zoom platform where families receive information on our academic programs, tips for helping their children at home, interactions with their teachers who are actually working the workshops, and a binder with resources for working and learning at homes. Families also receive a textbook, and it's written by Pamelas Turn, who also facilitates the sessions. She should be joining us here this evening as well. Our next slide. The workshop topics include writing, Schoology, which is the platform we're using for remote learning now, teaching families how to access Schoology, how to look at their kids' grades, and how to communicate with the teacher. Cami is another tool we use, and it's really important to use that in Schoology. We're teaching the parents everything the kids are learning in school. They learn about reading and Benchmark Advance, which is our reading curriculum, how to help their kids at home, which novels we are reading. They learn about the report cards. They learn about an individualized education plan. And if their student has one, we teach them what questions to ask, what to bring to the meeting, and how to make sure they're getting all the support they need. There will be another session on technology and how to manage your time. There's going to be a session on workforce and career readiness. And then our last session is going to talk about creating academic plans for the future. Next slide. So the benefits of participating in our parent university is you get to understand your child's learning style and really figure out, how I can help them at home, and then what points of what help they might need from school as well. It helps you conduct a more productive parent-teacher conference because that binder is full of resources. We gave them a notebook, we gave them a folder, we gave them a journal. We're writing down questions that they can ask and how to have a more productive conference. It's going to help improve grades. In turn, we can close the achievement gap, maybe even reduce student misbehavior because we're making that connection between school and home. That is the root of all relationships, and then improve the overall student success rate in school. Our next slide. So parents registered online. We have section there on our website. We have Andrea James here, who is our point of contact. She has joined me here this evening. And so parents register for the whole 6 weeks. They're going to get a t-shirt. They're going to get a gift card to the supermarket at the end of the session. But at each session, we give out prizes and other gift cards, and our families are really, really enjoying it. Our next slide. I think that's actually the end of the presentation. I was also asked to give some updates on behalf of the Christina School District for you guys. And so I'll give you a text.
Dr. Aiken, I'm sorry if I can just cut you off. Just wanted to find out whether or not there were any questions about the parent university portion that you had given us. Did anyone have any questions? Okay, I do see a attendee has a question, a public comment. Does any of the council people have questions? Yes, I see none. Could the public comment person, could they ask that question, please?
Hello, good evening tonight. Dr. Aegis, this is Pamela Scott. I am on the presentation. So I just put a copy of the book right there. Hopefully everyone can view that, From Kindergarten to College in 10 Steps. It is 2020's Best Parent Guidebook. So this is a copy of what they are receiving during the workshops for the parent universities. And just like Dr. Aiken said, the data that we've been collecting has been phenomenal. They are enjoying the university and they are working with their children.
Thank you, Pamela. Much.
I've been here the whole time.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us.
All right. Just so excited to finally be invited here to be with you guys. So hopefully you'll invite us back another time soon. So let me give you some quick updates, technology updates. So yes, we were caught in the supply and demand of devices back in the fall. When the pandemic hit, all districts across the country were docking for orders. Our orders trickled in, but we're proud to say they have arrived. So really since December, all students have had a device and hotspots are available for any student who does not have access to the internet. If needed, we also have buses running every day for mobile feeding in our neighborhoods across the city. So our bus drivers will drop off devices too if families are not able to come pick them up at the school. I'm not sure if I mentioned that to you, Councilwoman, when we talked last week. We didn't talk about the mobile feeding. So
okay.
Mentioned that. We now have shifted to a focus on instructional support. So we're offering after-school programming for all students. We have provided funding for teachers to work after school or to tutor students. And we've even secured additional private tutoring slots at no cost to the family. So we have tutoring happening and all families need to do is contact their principal or teacher. Obviously, they don't need to contact them for tutoring initially. We're gonna give that to everybody who needs it based on the data. But if you have not been offered a slot and you would like to have it, just contact your principal. Our middle school students also have the opportunity to recover courses if they failed any earlier this year. All they need to do is contact their teacher or building principal. We're offering course or credit recovery to all students. Also, all teachers have office hours at the end of every day for parents and students to connect with their teachers or for extra help or support. I've also been leading the charge to open learning pods around the city for our students who attend Bayard, Bancroft, and Stubbs. So a learning pod is a place where students can go get help accessing remote learning, connecting with their teachers, getting wraparound services and instructional support. So currently we have learning pods with the following partners, the Neighborhood House, Hicks Anderson Center, Girls Incorporated. We have one on site at the Stubbs Early Education Center. We have one on site at the Bancroft School. We have one on site at the Red Roof Inn in Newark. It is now a hub for displaced or homeless families. We found out that we had families placed there from Wilmington, so we opened a learning pod there for all students. And this week, we just opened the learning pod at the Bayard School. So I'll entertain any questions if you have any. And once again, Pamela, Andrea, and I thank you for the invitation.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Aikens. All right. Councilman Oliver actually has a question. Councilman Oliver, you're on mute. Okay.
Oh, thank you. I said thank you, Madam Chair. Sorry about that. Yeah, I had a question for Dr. Aegis. How you doing this evening? It's a pleasure to have you. My question was, due to the pandemic, I was wondering how are some of the grandparents working out, because I work very closely with Mr. Livingston down to Stuff School, and I remember that early on with the during the pandemic, a lot of grandparents were taking care of the children, and they were having difficulties on their with the computers. So I was wondering, and along with some other challenges, and I was wondering how was that coming along? And my second question would be for some of the youth, some of the children who may have some learning disabilities and aren't able to get some of that tutoring that they would normally be receiving. Do you have tutors that are helping in them areas?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Also, it's good to see you as well. Yes, so grandparents question. We knew that we had to support all of our adults during this time. And it was really important to us, which is why we started the Parent University. And Andrea, we have at least 2 grandparents in our Parent University.
Yes, we have about 3 grandparents in our Parent University. So they are all participating in that as well and taking advantage of that opportunity to be with the parents. And
they let us have it too. We remember last year.
It's a great time. It's a great time.
Pardon me. I'm sorry, Andrea, could you introduce yourself in your role?
Oh, sure. I'm Andrea James. I'm a teacher at the Byers School, and I have the pleasure of having Dr. Aegis as my mentor. So that is how I got this wonderful pilot of Parent University, and it has blown my mind. Her vision is amazing. So seeing how it's really helping the parents, and we have waiting lists now because we keep getting more and more parents. So it's amazing. So
yeah.
Thank you.
So yes, we are supporting the grandparents. It's one of the reasons why we started Parent University, but we also have our children and families first staff on the ground. We've got social workers, we've got counselors, we've got behavioral health consultants. We've got a support team on the ground at every school. All they need to do is reach out to us. I will tell you, we have some students that have not shown up. Like we have some students who we cannot find. We have our visiting teachers and social workers making home visits, knocking on doors. Unfortunately, the addresses we have, some of the families are no longer there. So it's time that you can get messages out in the community. Just tell your families, please contact us. We're looking for them and we're here to help them.
Okay.
And then for learning disabilities, our students with learning disabilities, yes, our special education teachers are still operating even in the remote space. They're holding small group Zoom sessions instead of the whole group Zoom sessions. And we have tutoring for those students as well.
Okay, thank you. Did you have a follow-up question, Councilman Oliver?
Yes, I was going to say, Madam Chair, my follow-up.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. I guess my next question would be, how are the grades? How are the grades looking at your overall through your district? I'm sure with the pandemic, they haven't been what you would like to what you would normally see. So how are your grades looking with these students, with most of your students throughout the Christian school district?
Yeah, I don't know if you guys had a chance to tune into the board meeting last month. I actually shared our achievement data and our students and our attendance rates have grown tremendously. We have about 30% of our students that are just not attending. And we have about 50% of our students failing, which is why we are offering all of the tutoring. We're also offering the course recovery. So it doesn't matter if it was this past fall, you did not pass math, please come see us. We have a partnership with Adult Ed. So any of our older students can go with our Adult Ed program and attend school at night. They can do it on their own, on their device. They can come meet their teacher and do it in the evening. They can also do it during the school day. So we're calling it course repair or credit recovery. So you can repair a course or repair the grade, or you can recover the credit that you didn't earn. So, and we're about to launch, we're gonna have summer programming for everybody. So even if you didn't come see us this spring, I'm gonna give you another opportunity this summer.
That's great. It's wonderful to hear. I do see that Councilman Fields has her hand up.
No, excuse me, Madam Chair, I would do just one last thing. I was trying to ask, when is the next board meeting and what website can I go on to look at that presentation from last month? That's all.
Sure, ChristinaK12.org, ChristinaK12.org, and then hit board. I don't have the website in front of me. Hit board.
That's okay.
Okay, go to search. I know it hit board docs, and that's what you're looking for. And I might be able to send a slide to Councilwoman McCoy if you want me to. Make myself a note of that. It was
and the next board meeting.
And the next board meeting was last night, so the next one is April.
Wow.
2nd.
Yeah, they just have them.
Second Tuesday of every month. Okay. And
Thank you so much
on our website.
Thanks a lot. That's
You're
all.
welcome.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Councilwoman Oliver. Councilwoman Fields.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Mhm.
This is not a, well, I do have one question, and that is, what about the charter schools that's in the Christina School District? Are you servicing them, or have you like kind of offered it to them? And then I have a follow-up after that.
Okay, sure. We do operate separately from the charter schools and the district, so we are separate entities. I have not partnered with any.
Okay, thank you. Madam Chair, can I follow up?
Yes, you may.
Okay, thank you. And I just want to say thank you to Ms. James and Ms. Wanda Elder for actually texting me and just bringing this to my attention. I was so excited. And just to see, you can hear the smile through Mrs. James, through the phone that Ms. James had, because I mean, she was just really excited about, getting this, just giving the presentation. So, I thank you, Dr. Atkins, for, taking this young lady on and taking her under your wing and just putting this out there. So I'm just happy that you all had the opportunity to present. I was excited when I was talking to Madam Chair about it. Like we were talking, the funny part about it is we were talking about our kids about this program. So, it kind of sparked the fire within us, if I can say that, Madam Chair. So, I was really excited. We were really excited just to hear your presentation. I am going to ask though, if you have a flyer of any sort, I would definitely, or we would definitely like to receive that so that we can promote your program as much as possible. And just know, I'm really excited and I see great things, and I don't see it just sticking with here. Once you stamp it on there, it's said and done. So congratulations, ladies, keep up the good work. And I wish you well, because I know it will be well. And that's it. Thank you so much. Thank you, Madam Chair. I'm done.
Okay. Thank you so much, Councilwoman Fields. Did anyone else have any questions? Okay. Seeing that there's none, and anyone from the public have any questions? Okay, so I actually just wanted to make a statement. I did get a chance to talk to Dr. Atkins and also Dr. Sheldon yesterday. Great information. I actually asked that they share some of this. Initially, they were on here just for Parent University, but the update was meant so much to me that we've actually gotten a chance to, conquer some of those obstacles. I was like, oh, thank goodness. So I really wanted to make certain that people were aware. I commend you all for the forethought of making certain that you had a learning pod at the Red Roof Inn. Thank you so much. Like I said, people, they definitely do forget about our displaced individuals, and we just want to make sure that our children get their education no matter where they are. What I would love to see, the flyer that they talk about sharing, because your classes are also booked up. We don't want to flood you, but we would love to share a flyer of your the credit recovery and the course correct, and like something about like the hot spots or something that people still need them. If there was any type of information like that you want us to make certain that we get out to the kids, the parents in our district, that would be great. Like I said, I don't want to flood you or swamp you or anything, but so we'll make certain that these items that you're really trying to push, because our children are having such a difficult time with all the distractions of COVID. I have talked to Councilman Fields, and my 13-year-old, I'm like, I invented my own learning pod at Nativity. I was like, he going up there whether he got class or not. I can't. And I'm like, I said, and I can just appreciate teaching the other parents how to basically to help the children, because Google and YouTube were my best friend, because I knew the answers, but I did not know how to teach my child how to get them. So, yeah. So thank you once more for your presentation, and Dr. Aegis, and also Ms. James. I would love to get a chance to talk to you. We did kind of communicate a little bit, and yeah, your energy level is really contagious.
Oh, thank you.
High energy. So we'd love to get a chance to really talk to you again. And I look forward to getting something from you, Dr. Ike, and that way we can share it throughout council, make certain that our parents are aware of some things. Okay?
All right. We will definitely send you all the flyers and information. And we thank you for the opportunity to share.
Okay. You have a great day. All right. So thanks again.
All right. Good night, all.
Good night. We have another presentation. This presentation is, hold on, I'm sorry. I'm trying to get back to my agenda. I'm sorry. Okay, so this presentation is for the Roberto Clemente Baseball League. I have been, I've been in communication with them, and I'm so excited that they are here to present. So, is there anyone here to speak about the league?
Yes. Good evening, council members and community members. My name is Damon Walker. I am the secretary for the Roberto Clemente Baseball League, and at the heart of who we are, we're a baseball league, of course. We participate in the Babe Ruth organization, and we operate out of the Woodlawn field on 4th and Woodlawn. And we wanted to just make you aware of some of the things that we're doing with the baseball league, because although we are a baseball league, we are a community organization also. And so we operate not just during baseball season, but we operate all year long. So we have baseball workshops during the winter time. We do fall ball. We do baseball in the spring. We do tournaments and travel tournaments in the summer. But along with that, we're expanding. And we recently had a meeting with the Carpenters Union about their apprenticeship program. And we're working with some community members to put together a career fair, because we provide mentoring for our kids, because we have our kids. Our league is open to kids from ages 4 to 18. And most of our kids return year after year. So, which means you build a relation. If you have a child from age 4 to 18, you've built a relationship with that child. And so we want to make sure that we are guiding them into adulthood, so they don't just turn 18 and graduate from high school and say, what's now? In addition to that, we do community events based out of the Woodlawn Park usually, but as we go other places like the skating ring or the bowling alley, but we provide events for children to have things to do other than play on the video games, which we're not against, but we like to get them outside also. So we were sponsored this summer, or this fall actually, where we did movies at Woodlawn Park, and we just put together a big screen and a projector, and we had popcorn, and everybody came out and watched the movie. And I think at our very first event, I counted somewhere north of 75 children. And then we had and not only their children, but their parents were on the outskirts of the field enjoying themselves. So we are a community organization, and we function within the community, and therefore we're reaching out to work with the community. Along with that, we have a major project that we are taking on, where we are attempting to renovate the Woodlawn Park. That is our home field. That's where we do our operations out of. And so if you wouldn't mind, I can share my screen. and I can show you just a quick presentation of what our vision of the park is.
Okay. So was this information passed to WITN, or is WITN capable of allowing him to share a picture?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I was just checking to see whether or not they were able to. Oh, I'm sorry. And also, I would like to acknowledge Councilwoman Gray from First District, the Vice Chair. She is here in the meeting.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not sure how to send the information to whomever needs to see it.
We have allowed capabilities temporarily for you
Okay.
to screen share.
Gotcha.
Thank you so much.
You
All right, Mr. Walker, please share your picture.
You should be seeing it now.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And so
this is only for the baseball field. This is not the whole park.
This is not the whole park. Yes. The basketball court was renovated by the city, I believe last year or the year before. The year before. Last year was the COVID epidemic. So the year before. And so now we as an organization are attempting to do the park itself. And so this is kind of the overall vision that we have for the park. So what you'll see in this picture, you'll see a new fencing that we're very close to getting that secured and getting that project going. We want to have that project completed by the beginning of this season, which is next month. And so we're getting new fencing. We're redoing the dugouts so that they're covered, so that our kids aren't suffering in the sun with the sun some of those really hot days. Because we play at the baseball field on Saturdays. The baseball games go on all day, usually starting from anywhere from 9 to 10 o'clock in the morning and going anywhere from 6 to 8 o'clock at night. We play under the lights. And you'll also see, well, you won't see, but including it with this is a new drainage system, because one of the problems that we have at the park is if it rains, then we have to play other places, sometimes for several days after it rains, because the water just doesn't drain from the park very well. And we've made some improvements over the years, but we want to really fix this once and for all. And so then we're adding a deck to the existing concession stand with some storage underneath of it. So the Woodlawn Park is also used by the Wilmington Titans Football League, or the Wilmington Titans for football. And so they also store their equipment, and currently the baseball and football equipment is stored in the concession stand. And we would like to get that out of the concession stand so we could make more use of the concession stand. We're currently working with an organization to run a food bank out of the concession stand, as well as do different fish fries and different fundraisers out of concession stand year round. So that's part of that plan. And then you'll also see amphitheater seating around the park. So that's something else that we're going to add. And with that amphitheater seating, because we're making some additions to the park, we're also going to have to make sure that this area is now handicap accessible. So that will be also an upgrade that comes with the amphitheater seating. And then last but not least, we have in our plans to have a batting cage for pitching and batting practice. And we're still, again, this is phase 3 of the project, and we're currently in phase 1. So we're still in the process of working out the details of this design. So for example, maybe the groundwork gets cemented, maybe the net turns into a fence. We're not sure yet. So we're still in the process of working through some of those details. This is a 2 to 3 year project that we're working on, and we're doing it in 5 phases. Whereas phase 1 is the fencing and the dugout. Phase 2 is the drainage. Phase 3 is the deck and the concession stand upgrades. Phase 4 is the batting cage, and then phase 5 is the amphitheater steps. And so that's all that I have to present to you on the Woodlawn Park project. I can stop sharing my screen now. The only other thing that I would like to mention while I have the attention of the community is that we're always looking for volunteers. We're looking for coaching volunteers. We're looking for volunteers from behind the scenes. We're looking for concession stand volunteers. We're looking for volunteers. If you have extra time and a willingness, we have something for you to help us with. So anybody who's interested in volunteering, I can pass my information on to the appropriate parties that can get that out and just let us know. We have tremendous community support. We're almost 100. We're supported by the city and by our local businesses, almost 100%, and local community members. That's where we get all of our support from. We're now starting this year to reach out to get corporate sponsorship, but historically it's been the local businesses, the local community, parents, community members, and the city. And I mean, to be able to have a baseball league in a time where and to grow our league in a time where baseball is fading has been a tremendous accomplishment that we're extremely proud of. And so we're working on extending that out further. And that was our reason for meeting with you guys today. I appreciate your time, and any questions, I'm definitely willing to answer.
Thank you so much, Mr. Walker. Does anyone have any questions for him? Okay, actually, I don't see any, but just wanted to let you know that I got I really like your conceptual design that you shared with us. Wanted to find out, had you partnered with any of, there's a CDC that's actually fairly close to you, Westside Grows Together. Had you made any connection with them when it comes to partnership or help with fundraising?
I'm sorry, who was that?
Westside Grows Together. They have been very, I guess, influential with trying to get a lot of the parks done on that side of town. Wanted to find out whether or not you gotten a chance to speak with them or partner with them when it comes to the Woodlawn baseball field.
Yes, absolutely. As a matter of fact, so our council is divided into 5 groups, if you will, 5 divisions. I handle the communication portion, but we also have Brother Israel Valletta on this call, and he's the vice president of our organization, but he's also the head of our community relations committee, and he's worked very closely with the Westside Grows
great
organization. So yes, we definitely are working with them.
I'm so glad to hear it. Okay, I say because that would definitely be a feather in your cap on trying to hit some of those milestones. It looks like you have 5 phases that you're trying to accomplish in 2 years, and they probably can always steer you in the right direction.
Yes, we're getting help from them. We're getting help from the city. The city has contracted a architect for us. And then we also have the conceptual design, and the design itself was done by a student who's working on his architect degree. And so he's working with the architect, is mentoring that student and helping us get this done.
Nice.
So it's a twofold thing. We're giving back by helping and giving the student some experience and exposure. And then we're also improving the aesthetics of that area of Wilmington.
Okay. One last question. When it comes to the league, I do realize you are growing it. Are you still taking registration, or registration complete and you're ready to start playing baseball now?
Yes, we are still taking registration. We would like to, and we'll be taking registration all the way through mid-April. And so, yeah, thank you very much. So yes, please, we have a website that you can register on, or you can contact that phone number directly, either via text or telephone call, and we can get you registered in that manner. One of the feathers in our cap, and one of the reasons that we've been able to grow our baseball league where the surrounding leagues have been shrinking, is that we work with families from wherever they are. So if a family doesn't speak English, not a problem. If a family doesn't have the computer or phone, not a problem. If a family doesn't have a ride, not a problem. We figure it out. If a family is unable to pay the registration fee for some reason, we figure it out. So we don't want any barriers to any child not being able to participate in the activities.
Okay. Thank you. Well, I see actually 2 of our council people have their hands up. Councilwoman Oliver, Your question?
Sure, thank you, Madam Chair. Now, I think mine is more of a statement. I'd just like to thank Mr. Walker for just to see some kids involved with baseball. You know, they don't realize it's a lot of kids, and parents don't realize there's a lot of scholarships out there for youth for baseball, and you just hear about basketball and football so much. But I am so glad to see that we have someone just trying to encourage our youth to participate in baseball. I just love that sport. I used to go over to the Blue Rock a lot, and I just remember watching a lot of people when I was growing up playing baseball, and you just don't see that sport like you used to. So I'm glad to see someone who is continuing the efforts to show the kids just some sportsmanship. And I look forward to getting that flyer from Councilwoman McCoy, because I'm unable to see the number, so I can definitely circulate that for you. So kudos to you. That's all. Thank you.
I really appreciate that.
Thank you. I do have if you don't have a follow-up, Councilwoman Oliver, she'd like to make a statement or question. I'm sorry, Councilman Gray. I'm so sorry. Councilman Gray.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, Mr. Walker, for the presentation. But I was seeing that the flyer was recruiting girls also. Is your league co-ed, or you have two separate leagues?
So historically we have been co-ed and really proud of the way that the females in our league excel. And I've seen some. I've been involved with the league maybe in the last 6 or 7 years, and so I've seen some kids go from age 8 or age 9 or 10 to adulthood. So and I'm really proud that the way that our female participants have excelled. If I share just something really quick with you, like one of our female participants went down and participated in the tournament that we went in and competed in Florida a couple of years back. And one of our female participants got up to bat, and she hit the ball so hard that the other team stopped the game and asked the umpire to check her bat because they thought she was using a legal bat. And so we're talking about we were competing in a 15 and under tournament. So we're talking about teenage boys that these girls are competing with. Wow. This year we would like to because once they get into the 16 to 18-year-old, now it gets a little bit troublesome for girls to compete with the boys at that age. Mm-hmm. And so what we would like to do is we're working to start a softball league, a softball division very soon. So we're currently soliciting interest for our softball division and seeing if we can make that happen. I'm not sure if it'll go a few games this year or a whole season this year, because we're just in the start of it, and with so much uncertainty coming out of COVID and everything that we're taking on, we got to be careful that we don't overload our plates too much. But that's something our president, Mike Beltran, has a daughter who's participated in the league, and now she's entering in that age group where she would like to be able to play softball. And so it's something that we're very, very interested in and encouraged to do.
Oh, thank you very much. That just shows we can do it all. Women.
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
And better sometimes.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So does anyone else have any questions or comments?
I have a comment.
Yes.
Brother is the vice president of Roberto Clemente League. And and one of the things that I did want to say why this is important, because this is bigger than baseball. And for us, this is about our community and our youth. And we got to create options for our youth to stay off the streets. We got to give them options. We got to give them positive options and images. And the one reason why we chose to do Roberto Clemente is because of what Roberto Clemente left behind, the legacy, his activism, and his love for his people, especially. And that's why we want to, that's the reason why we're here today, because we want to let everybody know that what we're doing here is bigger than baseball. We're trying to heal our community within, and especially work with our own community from the east side to the west side to the south side, especially Black and brown. We got to come together. And this is one of the most important elements that we can do within ourselves. I love that throughout the whole entire fall, we were practicing even with some of the Blue Rocks players that were teaching us, and we didn't give up on each other because these youth want an outlet, you know, and we got to look at what are the resources that these children have or their options in these streets. Let's give them something. Let's give them a park. Let's give them baseball. Let's give them some fun, but let's give them some family action together. And this is the reason why we're going hard about this and registration. And you're going to see us around from one corner to the other, especially like even on this weekend, 2nd and Scott, we're dedicating a mural to the people into the community. Feel free to come out from 12 to 2. And you're going to see a beautiful symbol of Roberto Clemente and what he represented to the people. And I really welcome everybody and thank you for even, you know, giving us a time today here at City Council to even speak our mind and our heart. But I just want to let you know that we're here to fight within. This is about our community. Let the inner city sports live, because people have to realize when we're coming from incomes from lower income housing, especially when housing only makes $20,000 a year to $17,000, what choices do they have? We got to let them know about scholarships. We got to let them know about programming, and we got to let them know how this works, because we're going to fight, you know, within. So I really appreciate it, and thank you so much.
Thank you so much for attending. I've been seeing the flyers, and I was happy to get more information. I do want to make certain that I acknowledge Councilwoman Cabrera has just joined us as well. Okay. I said, please. I said, you have the floor.
Thank you, Madam Chair. First of all, I just want to thank everyone, the volunteers of the Roberto Clemente League, how you've managed to keep the legacy alive. My son, Michael, played in the league. Vincent has played in the league. So it really is a tradition of family and generations and the inclusiveness of all members of the community. What I do want to add about the project is I did have a meeting with Michael, and we did have a conversation about fundraising. Now, Kevin Kelly, the city has committed a good portion of working with the league and renovating that park. They have a beautiful vision, and what they showed us was just a little peek into how they envision that being a full family activity area at the park and doing things there year round. So what I do want to, stress to people that are watching tonight, and even us as council members as we move about in the community, is that there is a lot of fundraising that needs to be done. And some of that is going to have to be done from private entities, because we as the city, as we know with the pandemic and everything else, we're going to be limited with our budget. The city has already committed funds to starting and the groundwork. So the monies aren't all going to come from the city. We need private entities. We need those corporations and those businesses around Delaware and Wilmington to invest in our youth. So I do want to put that out there. Any opportunities, anybody that you can think of where fundraising could take place to help the league as they are serving all of the children of Wilmington, that I really want to stress this to not only my colleagues, but anyone who's watching, and just a greater community on how we can help support the initiatives of the Roberto Clemente League. And thank you to everyone for the great job that you're doing and for your volunteerism. That's it, Madam Chair.
Okay, thank you so much, Councilwoman Cabrera. All right, I do have to agree. Yeah, like I said, looking at your phases and your time frame, I see that some fundraising is going to end up having to happen. But I just wanted to make certain that you got a chance to inform the city on the great work that's going on. I just saw a flyer on Facebook, and I had to reach out. Like, what's going on over here? I'm glad to see that you're still moving forward, that you've actually have all these young people organized and ready, geared up, ready for the season. This is wonderful. So if there's any information that you wanted to make certain that you left, I can share what I have, since we have been like in a little bit of conversation with each other. But if there's any more information, I guess when it comes to fundraising and stuff, please, you can send it to my email, and I'll disperse it to the rest of council. Okay. All right. So if there's no other comments or questions, council, public. Okay. Well, I just want to thank you all for joining us this evening for the Education, Youth, and Families Committee. It was a lot of information. Great information for our kids and for the parents. So without any other questions, I would just like to ask that there a motion to adjourn this meeting.
Second.
Okay, it has been moved and seconded. As all those in favor say aye.
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 All right. As well, meeting is adjourned. I guess I'll see you again next month. I say you have a great evening.
Good evening, everyone.